Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about K-pop groups you hate that I love, which could kind of be interpreted as part 2 of my The Most Overhated K-pop Groups Ever video. Of course, by including certain groups here, I'm not trying to accuse every single person watching of hating these groups, but all of the artists I'll be mentioning here are ones that I think get a disproportionate amount of hate, at least when compared to other groups within the industry. I don't think there's anything else I need to include in this intro, but I will say if there are any groups that you think I missed, feel free to comment them in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's get right into group number 1.
You ready for love like this? Are you ready for love like this? Are you ready for yummy?
Starting off with a group that probably won't be a surprise to anyone, considering Nancy was in the thumbnail, we have Momoland, whose whole situation is kind of a prime example of how K-pop fans really lack any sense of empathy. Considering everybody watching clicked on a K-pop opinion YouTube video, I'm pretty sure we all know about the hate train that Momoland experienced in 2018 and 2019, but if you somehow don't, after Momoland rose to the top after the viral hit of their song Boom Boom, K-pop fans back then basically went on a mission to do whatever it took in order to ruin Momoland's career. The group's arguably most popular member Nancy came under so much scrutiny, particularly for her quote-unquote bad attitude, and it got to the point where people would literally take screenshots of her while she was on music shows, and find moments where she wasn't smiling in order to call her rude. But in reality, they called her something much worse than rude, something that starts with a B, but I won't say that on my channel. And what's crazy to me is how so many people really started to believe this narrative. I don't know how somebody will see a bunch of single frame shots and like 2-second clips of an idol not smiling or not bowing to one of their seniors on accident and be convinced that they have a quote-unquote bad attitude, because that really is not enough evidence. And also, not gonna lie, I kind of have a weird feeling about canceling idols specifically for their attitude. Of course, it does make sense in extreme cases if they're literally like mistreating their staff, but canceling an idol or a group for acting a little bit cold towards others in 1 or 2 instances seems a little bit nitpicky, because everybody has off days, even idols. So I never really got why people during 2018 and 2019 didn't offer a little bit of leeway towards Momoland. Like, they literally became the sole moneymakers for a very small company, and their schedules went from being basically non-existent to busy every single day. So were we not a little bit more understanding of them probably just being tired? To me, it just seems like common sense, but of course, common sense is not something that most K-pop stans have, so I guess I just answered my own question. And then there's the topic of Momoland's title tracks all sounding the same, but people have defended that on the internet a million times before, and I've done it on my own channel before too. So a little 5-second summary of my thoughts on that is that if a group gets popular with a certain sound, of course they're gonna stick with that sound. Are we dumb? And overall, I do not think Momoland deserved any of the hate that they got back then. And now let's move on to the next group.
Yeah, I'll be the tomboy.
So the next group for this video is going to be I-dle. And I-dle is a group who I think gets a lot of undeserved hate surrounding their music. Of course, I've defended Tomboy a million times in the past few months, so I'm not going to do that again. Instead, I kind of wanted to talk about the phenomenon where it feels like every time Stan Twitter hates a I-dle song, I end up really liking it, and when K-pop fans love a I-dle song, it ends up not being one of my favorites of theirs. Okay, for example, when I stream a I-dle song, that song is almost never gonna be Oh My God. Chances are, it'll probably be something like Dum Dee Dum Dee, Tomboy, Uh-Oh, or Han. Though Tomboy is undeniably I-dle's most popular song yet, it is also one of their most controversial. Dum Dee Dum Dee didn't do that bad domestically, but people hated it overseas, while Uh-Oh and Han are kind of just forgotten when it comes to I-dle title tracks. And the thing is, my music taste usually isn't that unpopular. I mean, one of my most streamed songs of last month was literally Pink Venom, and I am absolutely not the Nugu stan I used to be in 2021. But for some reason, when it comes to I-dle, I just do not have popular takes at all. Like, I don't go out of my way to have popular or unpopular takes. I really don't care who else does or doesn't like the music that I do, but it's interesting how people in my comment section disagree with me way more when it comes to I-dle than I would say any other group that I like. Does that ever happen with you guys, where with a certain group it seems you never agree with the general consensus? It's not frustrating or anything, it's just really weird because it always happens with this group in particular, and I literally have no idea why. To me, I-dle's most allegedly controversial songs are genuinely their best, and it doesn't even make sense in my brain why so many people don't care for them, so hopefully one day I find out, because right now I have no idea. And it's kind of concerning, not gonna lie.
Taste that pink venom, taste that pink venom, taste that pink venom. Get 'em, get 'em, get 'em.
Next up for this video, we have Blackpink, another group that gets way too much hate for their discography. So I recently did a Blackpink discography run because the last time I did one was in like 2021, like early 2021. And okay, everybody sit down because I have to come clean. Kill This Love doesn't sound that bad anymore. Maybe it took not listening to it for almost an entire year. I don't know what happened, but for some reason when I listened to it during that discography run, it just clicked. And I've been liking some of these songs that I used to hate. Looking at Blackpink's profile on Spotify right now, I have 12 songs saved by them, and if you don't know Blackpink's discography, that might not sound like a lot, but that's around half their discography, not even including the solos. If we include the solos, then I have like 16 songs by them saved. I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record at this point, but I do enjoy Blackpink's repetitive style of music. As the saying goes, if it's not broke, then don't fix it. And regarding Pink Venom, not gonna lie, that song definitely grew on me. It's one of my most played last month, actually. So yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but Blackpink, they have some good music. And no, I won't apologize for saying that. Not gonna lie, I'm never gonna forgive K-pop stans for saying that MCND is just another noisy 4th gen boy group. Because if we're being serious, their music does not sound like all of the other groups that people try to lump them in with. MCND's music is actually catchy, meanwhile most other 4th gen boy groups don't even have melodic choruses. Sure, their choruses might not always be sung, but even when they're spoken, they still have a very catchy rhythm to them that you won't forget after just 1 or 2 listens. And that's why songs like Ice Age and Crush got so popular. But it's not just those 2 songs that are good. Literally all of their title tracks are very catchy. And don't even get me started on their B-sides. Their discography is way better than people give them credit for. Of course, this is biased, but this is my channel. I'm allowed to say whatever I want. So, yeah, go check them out. And that's all I have to say on that.
Put my sneakers on. 하나 둘 ready get set go. Put my sneakers.
Next up, we have ITZY, who were in my most overhated groups video, but I wanted to talk about them again. And the reason why is that people are really discrediting ITZY's achievements recently. For some reason, people are trying to rewrite history and say that ITZY's only domestic hit is Dala Dala. And this is definitely confusing to me considering ITZY got over 10 music show wins and Wannabe got almost 10 as well. So obviously they must have charted super well and they did not flop. I've also seen a lot of people say that Sneakers flopped, but out of all of the JYP group releases this year, Sneakers is the one that charted the best, and the only JYP song in general that charted better than it is Nayeon's Pop. So even if Sneakers didn't hit number 1 and didn't get any all kills or anything like that, saying that it flopped is a little bit of an exaggeration. I just wanted to put this out there because people are literally just spreading misinformation as facts on the internet, and I wanted to do my own part as a midzy to try and clear that up, so there's that. And now we can move on to the final section of this video. So if you don't know, for most of my videos, for the final section we do the channel member's choice, which is essentially where people who either click the first link in the description down below or press the join button next to the subscribe button and became a member, get to vote and choose the final group that I talk about in each video. They also get access to our exclusive Discord server, and the people in the higher tiers get even better perks than that. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then consider becoming a member. But if not, then let's not keep you waiting anymore. The channel member's choice for this video was To be real, in 2021, I was a bit of a Gravity music hater. Their single, My Turn, is pretty infamous for being one of the worst songs of that year, and their B-sides, minus a couple of standout ones, weren't the best either in my opinion. So I think that year turned a lot of people off the group and they just don't check out Gravity at all anymore. But here's the thing. In 2022, they have absolutely redeemed themselves. Their album that they released in January with the title track Adrenaline is one of the best boy group albums that I've ever listened to, and Adrenaline might just be a top 3 boy group title of the year so far. Gravity's run this year is kind of a peak example of why I never turn myself off of a group completely, because even if they release a lot of music that you hate, you never know what they're gonna do later. I know so many people haven't even checked out this group since Gas Pedal, and if that's you, then I really do implore you to check out their album that they released this year, because it truly is a hidden gem in 2022, and more people need to check it out. And that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing. As always, at the end of every video, I shout out all of my channel members by name, so without further ado, shout out to Sonarinth, OPJin ITZY, Jujumin, Wu Twice Tees, Dog, Saiyan Lover, What's OP, Zeus112, Flow099, Jackie, Abe, ZVH, Wu Youngie, Ian Latte, Jed, Soda Scribbles, Minakor, Adrian Wang, Shiny, Male T, Mizu Molnorovie, Sunny, Cassie, Leonie, Frago Bobo, Kelsey, Gav, Adifa N, Irene, Chili's Cafe, Mello, Ale, Sydney, Elena Kantaki, Julia Peterson, Che, 97th Heaven, Frosty Plays, Julian Zalazar, Jai, Goyoungzi, Alpha Fox, Edgy Does Things, Miriam, Silverwind, Namjoon's Lost AirPods, Julia, Ray, and Kyukun Love. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. And without further ado, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.